welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about kitchen gadgets. So a long time ago, when I first started all of this, cooking from scratch, growing my own food, preserving it, I was just enthralled with any information I could get. I would watch any blog post, any YouTube video, books, you name it, and if they shared some form of a kitchen gadget that I thought would make my life easier, I would go out and buy it. And what I've learned on that is don't do it. What I've learned is that you can buy all the kitchen gadgets out there on the market, and that will be great, and some will help and some won't help. But what you'll end up finding is that you don't need a lot of things to do what you want to do in the kitchen. And really, all it does is collect dust in your cabinet, and then you do your spring cleaning or your clean out or whatever you do in your home to get rid of clutter, and it ends up winding at the thrift store to begin with. So what I've now recently done is I don't buy any new kitchen gadget regardless of who I respect and know uses it, because it may not work in my kitchen. There are kitchen gadgets that you will use in your kitchen that won't benefit my kitchen very much. And so because of that, I'm going to give you my top 5 kitchen gadgets that I use for preserving and just homesteading and cooking from scratch that are the workhorse of my kitchen. But that might be different for you. So what I recommend you doing is take these and kind of store them in the back of your brain. If you've already been doing this for a while and you know that definitely is going to make my life easier, then go ahead and get it. But if not, do it the way that you would have to do it, the hard way, if you didn't have that kitchen gadget. And then if you find that you're making that food over and over again and this would make your life easier, then go ahead and purchase the item, because the last thing any of us needs is a cupboard full of gadgets that we're not going to use. Because what inevitably happens is if you're not going to put in the work, the perseverance, the failed attempts, and all of those things in your kitchen to do this lifestyle, it doesn't matter what gadget you have, it's just not going to work. My favorite example is for years I would hand squeeze my boxes of lemons that I got from Azure Standard, and I would squeeze them one by one in this little handheld squeezer to get all my lemon juice to make my lemonade concentrate. It was probably 2 years of that before I finally was like, I'm gonna buy an $8 electric squeezer, and man, has my life been made easier in that. Canning lemonade concentrate wasn't gonna go away. My family loves it. I like that they're drinking, if they're not drinking water, they're drinking something that I have made myself and I know exactly what's in it, and there's no added ingredients. So I was gonna continue to do that. This is a gadget that helps me in maximizing my time, and I'm just more efficient. So I went ahead and spent the $8 and bought the electric lemon squeezer. But if I would have done that right off the get-go, what if I canned lemonade concentrate one time and my family hated it and I was never gonna do it again? Now I have this lemon squeezer in my cabinet that I'll never use again. And so just be mindful of that. Don't just go run out and buy the next gadget that somebody shares. Make sure that it's something that you will use and you know that it's going to benefit your kitchen and make your life easier and more efficient. So we're going to start right here with gadget number 1. And this is in no particular order. I would say if I had to start with number 1 and it was going to be my most used, it would be the item that I'm going to show you next. We're just going to kind of walk around my house, my kitchen, and show you the things that I use the most of. The first thing that I would share is this food processor. Now I have a larger one. You can get one at a smaller scale, but I do use this often. However, it's probably not my most used gadget. There's particular things that I do use with it, and some things that I just use in my mixer or something, or the blender or something else. What I like about it is that you can have it mixing or pulsing while you're pouring things in, so it's constantly going, so it's chopping as you go. It does have the attachments, I didn't bring them out, but it does have the attachments of shredding, so that's really easy that you can stick foods into here and it'll shred it really, really, really quickly. It's easy to take apart and clean, so everything comes out. It is really easy to clean because of how it comes apart. Even this part right here comes apart and you can put things down even smaller. So I would definitely say this is a must-have in a homesteading kitchen. But again, if you have something else that would do the job just the same, like say you have a stand mixer that has the grating attachment and a few of the other things, and then you have a really good high-powered blender, you may not want to have the food processor. It may not add any benefit to you. But for me, I do use it often. Okay, my gadget number 2, if you've been around for a while, you know that my stand mixer is the workhorse of my kitchen. So I would say I probably use my stand mixer at minimum twice a day, and that would be minimum. We use it for so much. I don't ever pull out a hand mixer anymore. I always use my stand mixer. Even something that doesn't require you to use a stand mixer, I usually do. It's just so easy and convenient for me. All of my gluten-free breads require a stand mixer. You can do it with a hand mixer, but I find that a stand mixer is much better. It is an investment, but I will say this. I have had this, I got it as a wedding present almost 16 years ago, and this KitchenAid stand mixer is still running strong. So I told my husband the other day, I'm like, whenever that takes a dump on me, I'm just buying another one. I don't care the price because I use it constantly. I do have pasta attachments and even a meat grinder attachment that we had gotten that hook onto the front here, and I use those constantly. So if you are somebody who bakes a lot, who is interested in making my gluten-free breads, I would first say try my gluten-free breads with a hand mixer so that you're not investing and then never making bread again. However, I would say that this is something that every homestead kitchen needs if you are going to do a lot of baking and cooking from scratch. I mean, we make so many things on it. We do whipped cream in it, butter in it. You can just do so many different things. So a stand mixer is high on my list. Of everything I share, I would say the stand mixer is probably my most used gadget or appliance. Okay, we've moved on into the pantry, and this is kind of my utilities countertop. So inside of my pantry, I have a sink and where I can set out all of my utilities that are used the most. So this empty spot right here, I am deciding on which one I want to get, but I do want to get a toaster oven. But I have made a decision a long time ago to not just run out and buy something on a whim that I think that would make my life easier, that I want, to really think it through and decide, look for it. Maybe I can find one at a thrift store and not just run out and buy the next thing. So I'm waiting on that, but I'm thinking that's what I want. Then I can toast lots of toast at one time and just do different things with it. But in here, I have 3 different appliances. I know that I said my top 5. I have a bonus one that's downstairs in my canning pantry, but I would say that one is really highly for preserving food. These are for everyday kitchen gadgets. Number 1 is my Vitamix blender. I absolutely love it. I would say a Ninja is another great blender to get, so either one of those. The Ninja may even be a little bit better. I don't know. I didn't do my research too well on that. The only reason why I say it may be better is because it does have where they have more blades going all the way through, where my Vitamix is just at the bottom. However, this is a very high-powered blender, and I absolutely love it because I can do so many different things in it and keep it everything will go really well in my Vitamix. So it has different an on and off switch, and then it has different dials that you can go really slow all the way up to really high. And I make peanut butter in it. I mean, there's just so many things that I make in my Vitamix. So getting a high-powered blender is another gadget I would say would be very useful for your homestead. Going back here, this is my Denali canning dehydrator. I will link that as well. But I love that one, and it has a digital top here. It's really compact, so a lot of times a dehydrator is super big and it takes up a lot of space. I really like that this is nice and compact. Obviously, with it being compact, it doesn't fit quite as much food, but it does have, I think, 7 or 8 trays in there. It comes with one silicone tray for you to try out if you're going to do fruit leathers or anything like that. But I love my dehydrator. It's really essential in preserving food because I dehydrate different herbs in it. We do deer jerky in it. I do tomatoes in it. There's just so many things you can dehydrate in a dehydrator, and it's a really quick way to preserve different foods. This here, now this would only be a benefit to those that are going to make their own breads whole grain. So this is my grain mill, and it is a Nutri-Mill. I actually got it refurbished on their website, and I really like it. So this is what I will grind all of my grains with and help it to turn into flour so that I can make bread. So if you're going to go on the whole grains journey, which is different than cooking or baking with all-purpose flour, then you're going to want to get a good grain mill. And I really love this Nutri-Mill. I like it as it sits here out. It is kind of heavy, so it's not one that you really want to move around. You probably would want to keep it stationary wherever you're going to have it. But I do love it. It's super easy to use. The cap comes off, you pour your grains in here, and the flour spits out here. But when you're ready to clean it, it just everything comes apart and pops right off, and you can dust it all out, blow it out with an air compressor or whatever you need to do. Okay, so we're down here in the canning pantry down in the basement, and this is where I keep all of my long-term food. And of course, I would say the next gadget that I would recommend for everyone with, if you're going to preserve food, is canners. So either a water bath canner or a pressure canner. I have the All-American pressure canner and the Denali canning pressure canner called the Tanker, and both of them I love, but for different reasons. If you have a glass top stove, the Denali canning pressure canner is designed for a glass top stove, so I would highly recommend it. But otherwise, I do love my All-American as well. And then of course a water bath canner. All of those are going to be essential in preserving your own food. One of the other gadgets, which is kind of like a bonus gadget that I'm going to share, is for preserving tomatoes or even any kind of food that you want to remove skins or seeds or any of that. And that is this food mill. And this actually is all apart, and I would put it all together, and you hook it to your countertop, and you can run food through the funnel here, this white funnel, hand crank it, and it removes the skin and the seeds for you. This is what I make all of my tomato products with. So if I'm going to do any kind of pizza sauce, tomato sauce, marinara sauce, any of that, I use this and run my tomatoes through it. I absolutely love it. I got it on Lehman's. I think it's called the Weston, and I really love it. So I will link one down in the description for this. Okay, while I'm down here, I caught my eye on something else. I haven't used it yet this year, so I forgot about it, but it is a big part of my preserving and processing, so I'm going to give you a bonus one. And that is my juicer steamer. This I got last year, and it is amazing. You can take one fruit and get juice and a product out of it. So I will use this juicer here, this steam juicer, and slice up all of my apples. They will be on the top here in this colander part, and then the juice is in the middle, and you put the water in the bottom. You put it on your stove and it steams it. It spits the juice through this spout, and then your fruit is getting soft and cooked at the same time. So then I get apple juice and apple sauce out of the same fruit. I also do that with grapes. You can just get, well, really you just get juice out of grapes. But there are so many different things you can do, and I absolutely love my steam juicer. They're fairly inexpensive on Amazon, and that's where I got mine. I added this gadget to my preserving tools last year, and I highly recommend it. So there you have it. Those are my top tools or gadgets that I use here in my kitchen. Some of them for preserving, some of them just for cooking, some of them for cooking first and then preserving. So I hope that was helpful, kind of gave you a base of what I use in my kitchen. I mean, really, those are the things that I use. Every other gadget that I've gotten before, I've lo and behold just given away or donated because I never used it and it was just taking up space. So really think about all the things that you're purchasing, bringing into your kitchen. You don't need all the special things to get started. Just get started. Actually, get started well before you buy anything, because then you will really see what the goals and needs of your kitchen are and what things that you need to bring in to make your life and your time more efficient. I hope that this video was helpful in giving you some ideas. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video. I send out one new video every single week, and then jump on over to the blog and put in your email address. I send out an email a week over there with different recipes, my YouTube videos, and all of that. I hope this video was helpful, and we'll see you next time. Take care.